Home and Wealth, sponsored by Rodney Anderson with Supreme Lending.
When money is borrowed unwisely, the debt payments can crowd out other needs. Now, this is called credit card debt. Mortgage expert Rodney Anderson is here to talk about taking on debt, and we're talking about something serious. We're talking about taking on debt before you get into the housing game, and you told me earlier this is probably not a great idea.
Yeah, I break this down into several different areas, and I call it the flavors of debt. Okay, who doesn't like the different flavors of ice cream?
I like all of them.
But that works a lot different than the flavors of debt.
Tell us more.
First of all, you have what's called unsecured debt. This could be college loans, for example, where you don't have collateral. They can't come take anything away from you. They can't repossess your college. Right? So you have these college loans, which are called unsecured debt. You also have what's called secured debt. This is when you buy a house, you buy a car, there is collateral involved, so those types of loans will normally be at lesser interest rates.
Okay.
And then you have your revolving debt, what I call plastic dynamite.
Oh, no.
This is your credit card debt that can get out of control. I had a gentleman yesterday, he got laid off from his job. He worked for a Big 5 accounting firm, got laid off. It took him a year and a half to find a really good job, and he's accumulated $162,000 of revolving credit card debt just in the last period of time. And what revolving debt can do is it can really damage your credit score because you maxed out your credit cards a lot of times. So those are the three flavors of debt, I call
Now, what did you call that? Plastic dynamite? Oh,
those are the
that's
bombs in your pocket that are ready to explode, and it's because you're paying so much in interest rates that you'll never get ahead.
Okay, tell us about some of the questions that people really need to ask themselves before they accumulate any of this type of debt.
Well, the first question I always ask myself is this debt that I'm accumulating, am I going to have it paid off before it is not available anymore? For example, this happens a lot with furniture debt. How many times do you go to a furniture place, they offer some crazy financing, 5 years, no interest, and that dang couch ain't going to last you more than 2 or 3 years. Otherwise, you might get divorced during the process and cut it in half or something like that. But you have to ask yourself, is this debt that I'm accumulating, is this long-term debt or is this short-term debt? And is it going to outlive
me? How
long I'm going to finance this thing for?
That's important. That's important to know.
A couple other questions that I tell people to ask is this debt going to increase my net worth? If you buy a house, a lot of times, if you gain equity, it is increasing your net worth. But there is nothing in credit card debt, for example, that's ever going to raise your net worth. Because if you're out there financing stuff at 15, 20, 25, 30% on many of these credit cards now, Shannon, there's no way that people will get ahead with those types of things.
Okay. All right, real quick, you help people get out of debt, and one of the ways that you do it is talk to them about cash out, refinances all day long. Why are they so popular with you?
Well, they're so popular because equity has gone up in people's homes, and people are sitting there and they're drowning in this stuff. Whether it's $40,000 or $60,000 or $100,000 of student loan debt, of credit card debt, or other revolving debt, or if you've been one that consolidated credit card debt into other credit card debt. Those are the perfect type of people that are doing cash outs because your rate on your mortgage is going to be substantially lower than your credit cards. And just think about it. Let's say you had $100,000 in credit card debt and your average rate was 20%. That's almost like having a $100,000 mortgage at 20%. Would people call you crazy?
There you go.
I would.
All right. Okay. If you've got questions for him, he'll help you get out of debt. You have to go to RodneyAnderson.com for more information about debt or other mortgage questions. You can also go to 1-800-EXPRESS.